Hi, I'm Whitney. I'm from Southern California, more specifically Orange County. I did pulse percussion for 5 years. I marched a season of Blue Stars in 16, one in Devs in 18. I came from La Quinta High School in Westminster. And during my marching career, I also went to USC for my undergrad and majored in health and human sciences with an emphasis in psychology. I am super excited to go inside the shot with Russ.
Hi, everyone. It's Russ Tanakaya again, bringing you this new edition of Inside the Shot. I have to tell you, this is an exciting session today because today I get to introduce to you one of the drumline and drum corps most intense performers. She's from Southern California, and I haven't seen her in about a year, but I heard she just graduated from the University of Southern California. Please help me welcome Whitney Taylor. Whitney, good to see you.
Hi, good to see you, Russ.
So, you know what? Let's dive into the shots.
Let's do it. Aww.
Oh, I remember this shot. This is a Whitney. I think this is a Blue Star show called Le Rêve, which I believe means the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at this shot, look at her face and look at the background. To me, that's what it says, the dream. Is that right, Whit? Tell us about that shot.
Le Rêve is about the dream. That was the most emotional summer for me. I think that opened me up as a person. And looking at that picture, I almost want to cry right now. I'm just trying so hard not to. But yeah, it's the dream. So the music of that show the music of the show is so beautiful, right? The beginning, there's like this beautiful cello melody. It's actually inspired by the Las Vegas show, Le Rêve. And I actually got to see that in person, which was super cool. So that summer was so impactful because the people that I met there in the summer that we had made me feel so much love. And I felt like I was living the dream. Like, I'm on tour with the Blue Stars. We have amazing food. There's amazing people that I'm with. We have super awesome music to play. And whenever I look into the pit, I see love and I feel love. You know, when we talk about the energy that you feel performing with people and you're connecting with them. And every time I look inside, I see that and I feel that. And it's just like this heartwarming, like you feel like you're in love. You are in love with the entire front ensemble. And I look in and that's my face. My face is looking in, like in love with all the people.
Yeah, that was a great show. And I loved watching that. And I think a lot of people related to that show you're talking about in Las Vegas because they've seen that. Mm-hmm. So let's try looking at another shot.
Oh gosh, this was before our makeup was super produced. Like, it was more detailed later, but this was like the first rough draft of, I don't know what to do. We're just gonna put this latex thing on our cheeks. Gosh, that show was definitely very member produced. So, you know, they gave us the music, they gave us the concept, and they said, look scary. And like, you know me, how am I supposed to look scary with a bunch of other, we were like, what do we, I don't know. So for a while, we definitely looked very interesting. You know, we were doing all of these crazy visuals and different makeup or hair techniques, and it was bad for a while, but I think eventually, you know, we got like the shaky viz down, and it was a lot of fun performing that show. So I really got to channel, you know, my inner demon, inner anger, any angst that I had, anger, just that's like the emotion that we had in that show. And yeah, it was fun. It was very fun. I got to act for a little bit.
I have to admit that as a father of two battery members, my camera normally is focused on the center of the field. But that show, I went to the lot and I saw you guys warming up. And by the time I got back to the stadium, there were no seats left. So I had to sit in the front row. And guess who was sitting right in front of me? Whitney Taylor.
I remember that. I remember that show.
I spent all day taking pictures right of you, and there was that one shot where you turn your head. That to me is Whitney.
Yeah, I felt that show was so empowering, especially because the marimba's a little tall for me, so I have to wear these like heel boots, and that was my first season performing in those heel boots, so it would take me a while to adjust to, but I just felt like a badass. I don't know if I can say that word, but that's how I felt. Super empowered, just like in these heel boots playing the marimba. My first year on marimba pulse.
Fabulous show. Let's go and inside shot number 3.
You know, I did not look at these pictures very carefully when you sent them to me. That looks like we came out of a sweaty lot. Like, it was probably really hot, came inside, sweated off the makeup. But that show is all about vulnerability, feeling your emotions and their strength and vulnerability. You know, that's something as a society that we're overcoming. People think we have to be strong. You got to put up a good front. But now we're starting to learn, actually, if you're vulnerable and you're able to be yourself and your weaknesses, like you're able to be comfortable with your weaknesses, that is what empowers you. And so that show, very emotional show. It's all about letting your guard down. And showing who you really are. And, you know, that's like the transformation. We start guarded, we start kind of angry and moody. And then as the show goes on, we find the beauty and opening up and feeling the emotions and the emotions of the music and all of that reads during the show. And then that exact shot is right before this moment changes everything. Ta, 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 and then we go up with the cymbal. So that was like the climax of the show. And that's like right before we're all like, this is it. But yeah, that was the shot.
I saw that shot at the Pulse preview, so it was even before the season started.
Wow.
And from the moment I saw that, I thought you were going to win a world championship that year because it was so emotional and it was very innovative that year, right? Because we had 4 string players. And I thought, this is Pulse year. It's going to happen.
Yeah, so my take on that, I thought that show was beautiful, but here's the thing, right? In the Dayton Arena, you got big picture. That show, I think, is meant for small audiences or very up-close emotion, and it's a very intimate show. So it might be differently in the arena, you know, and the strings, very innovative, very difficult to achieve though, right? Strings, electronics with like, all the marimbas have one pitch, strings have different pitches, and it's electronic, and they had to deal with a lot of challenges. So the most challenging year for me, that was the hardest book I think I've played at Pulse, for sure. Very beautiful, very personal. And you know, the scores, whatever. That was a good year.
It was a great show. Let's go inside the next shot.
This is during the ballad. I'm pretty sure this is during the ballad, yes.
This show, all year, I don't know why, but I spent every Blue Devil performance on side 2. And you are on all the way at the end of side 1, right? So I only saw you in one show. And I remember seeing you that day, and you were like, get out of the way, Russ. Do you remember that?
I said, get out of the way to you?
Yeah. I don't know why. I think I was blocking a chord or something like that.
Oh, were we setting up? We could have been setting up. I had this 100-foot cable with the mic, and I had so many issues with the mic and the cable. Like there's this one show I put the mic up and then it fell and hit me on the head, and I just put it up again with the really tall shotgun mics. Fell again. Super embarrassing. Almost was late. So I was probably like, Russ, we gotta go. Super.
You give me a phobia, you know. I told you.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
That marimba player just yelled at me for standing in her way. All 4'10" of her.
No. That show, it was a stressful setup every time with the electronics and everything, but no offense, I'm so sorry. Okay, so the show is about the 1942 painting by Edward Hopper, Nighthawks. And, you know, in this painting, a lot of people talk about what's going on. You know, it's like a late night, you know, everyone has their secret story. And so what we do is we take the painting and we say, you know, here are each of the main character stories. And it goes through the storyline. At the very end, you have the whole picture. And yeah, that's what our whole show is about. But so in that shot, that was during the ballad, super emotional, again, impactful moment. Performing with your friends. Honestly, that's like the biggest gist of all of these shots is whenever someone looks really emotional, looking in, super happy, they're usually just connecting with the players around them and having that moment. So that's the moment. That's where the magic happens.
Let's go inside the next shot.
So this shot was taken from Pulse's 2019 show, Divided We Fall. Very angry show in the beginning, right? It's all about, you know, we dream about changing the world, but it's very hard to do it divided, and that is more true than ever today. And in that show, we were trained to be very angry, like lots of angst, lots of tension built up. And psychologically, actually, we talked about this as members, that made us want to fight each other and fight people around us. Like I was a very angry person during that season. It was so awful. But, you know, it really shows, you know, a lot of people live like that today. You're on Twitter, doom scrolling, mad at the world about this and that, or whatever it is. And we fail to look at the bigger picture. And it's that, you know, we all need to work together as one. So very, very strong message in that one.
I want to thank Whitney Taylor for joining us this week on Inside the Shot. I hope you enjoyed meeting Ms. Intensity. She's an incredible performer. I hope you get a chance to see her real soon. And I understand that she is also teching in a lot of schools, so you'll probably see her on the field soon. Thanks again, Whitney, for joining us this week.
Thank you so much, Russ, for having me. It was great seeing you again, and I hope to see you in person one day at a band show. Thank you so much.